Greetings Multiverse, we've had a big day in terms of DC movie news with Warner Brothers announcing a whole batch of really killer DC movie news and dates and names and all sorts of other fun stuff, and I just wanted to give my opinions on them, but I also have a little bit of a rant about the state of the DCEU right now and what's going on. And basically I'm just calling this, has the DCEU failed? Let's just go through the news to start with. Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman are confirmed for 2020. 2021, on the other hand, has been now packed with James Gunn possibly directing The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad 2, The Suicide Squad, which is very similar to another title I'm going to mention shortly, for August the 6th. Matt Reeves' The Batman, well, as it's currently called, is coming June 25th, 2021. That's 2 years from now. Slightly less, but I think this could be the dark horse of the year, no pun intended, Super Pets, in between those two dates on May 21st. Now, Super Pets, if done right, I'm not going to dwell on Super Pets too much, but I want to add that it could be the Lego Batman movie or Lego movie or Teen Titans Go to the Movies of that year, if done right. I think as long as it is funny, it could be the dark horse one, because that's usually the one you don't expect. We expected Aquaman and Shazam and Wonder Woman, all that to be great. We don't necessarily expect Teen Titans Go to the Movies to be great, and that was possibly my favourite movie of last year. Same with the Lego Batman movie, which I'm still kind of calling my favourite Batman movie. But speaking of Batman, the Batman. This guy, Ben Affleck, is out. That has been rumoured for a while, that has been suspected for a while, but it is now absolutely confirmed. Ben Affleck is gone, and a new younger actor is going to come in, well, presumably younger actor, is going to come in and actually do the Batman. I am not necessarily against any of this. I think the Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, is going to be fantastic. Matt Reeves is a fantastic director. His two Planet of the Apes movies has basically helped create what I believe is the greatest movie trilogy that has ever been done, and he did a huge part of that, and I really cannot wait to see what he's doing with Batman. We're getting a rogues gallery of villains, we're getting back to the world's greatest detective, we get a sort of a noir story. It all sounds great. It all sounds like something we want to see. I want to see. What I am a little bit distressed with are the ramifications for the DCEU. Combined with the other point, which is not necessarily Birds of Prey, because that's coming out next year, which is basically the Harley Quinn movie, carrying on from Suicide Squad, supposedly. But we're also getting a movie called The Suicide Squad, which makes it sound a lot like a reboot, not a sequel. Do you know what happened the last time they did a reboot to a superhero movie? That was very shortly after the last movie, and everyone was just expecting a sequel. That movie was called The Amazing Spider-Man, and it did not do well. In fact, it basically killed Sony's chances for making a Spider-Man cinematic universe. Spider-Man's basically back with Marvel now, and it basically killed all their chances, The Amazing Spider-Man, instead of just doing a Spider-Man 4, perhaps with another actor and director. But they decided to reboot and basically tell the same story again. Audiences didn't go for that because they had already seen that story. Now, if we're getting a Suicide Squad 2 that's not a direct sequel to the first Suicide Squad, which, let me remind you, actually did really well. It is still possibly my least favourite DCEU movie. I think it's very fun, but I think the plot completely falls apart. But I think a sequel done right could be very good. I think the first movie could have been great, and it's still watchable now. So soon after that movie, while the DCEU is still going on, and you're going to have a reboot. Is it going to be part of this DCEU, or is it going to be its own thing? And then you have Aquaman and Wonder Woman 2, and presumably we're going to get an Aquaman 2, almost certainly. I mean, it's the most successful DC movie of all time. So that means the DCEU does carry on, and yet Ben Affleck's out as Batman. It's presumably going to be some sort of prequel. Maybe it's not even going to have anything to do with the DCEU. That's also the rumour. The Suicide Squad is getting another movie, but may not feature Margot Robbie, who has transitioned to Birds of Prey. Basically, does this mean the true DCEU and the idea of a shared universe is completely dead? Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be a prequel and may not even do the thing that Wonder Woman 1 did, which would sort of have a present day bit which connects it directly to Justice League. Aquaman didn't have anything like that. Aquaman did not have any real mention of Justice League at all. Had a brief mention of Wonder Woman, but that was blink and you miss it. Shazam is still part of the DCEU. It still was planned as part of the DCEU and has loads of references to other DC heroes, but is that going to be it? I mean, everyone expected Superman or something to like show up in the movie, and we still don't know if that's actually going to happen. It probably won't. And I'm really sort of getting ants in my pantsy about what's going on with the DCEU, because I loved the idea of a DC shared universe. It's the only thing that could possibly topple Marvel, and it needed to be done right. I have wanted to see a DC cinematic universe, a shared universe of DC Comics characters all my life, and when it finally arrived, we got Justice League. And what's going on with this guy? Where's the next Superman movie? What happened to Henry Cavill? Henry Cavill is a great Superman, and we're not getting anything out of Warner Brothers on what's happened with Superman. We're getting a Batman movie that doesn't feature the Justice League's Batman. We're getting a Suicide Squad movie that doesn't continue from the last Suicide Squad movie. And I just don't know what's going on, frankly. I mean, I want to see these two again. I want to see Henry Cavill, Superman, and Ben Affleck's Batman, and I never will ever again. I'm disappointed it all fell apart. I'm disappointed that the current head of Warner Brothers Films doesn't seem to like the idea of shared universes anymore and wants to carry on doing basically what they've been doing for the last 20, 30, 40 years and just separate DC movies. I mean, I want to see all these DC movies, but I want them to have some connection. We've done the whole separate movies thing. It works fine. The bigger challenge is shared universe. I want to see a Justice League 2. I want to see it done better than the first one. I want to see a proper Justice League movie. And I will probably never get that. I am frustrated. I am really, really frustrated that the fact that the DCEU has basically failed. I don't want to lose Henry Cavill as Superman or Ben Affleck as Batman. I mean, there are other actors that can do the roles, but they're so freaking good. And I don't really believe that either of them have been given the chance to shine that they really needed to. So it's all a bit sad, basically. That's my view. It's a bit of a rant, I know. I'm just sad at the downfall of the DCEU. I'm glad at the rise and the push that these DC movies are getting, and I hope they're all going to do well. Aquaman is a good start, and I'm confident Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 1984 will be absolutely brilliant. Batman definitely so. Joker, hopefully, it looks really good. And James Gunn's Suicide Squad, why not? Why not? Then I want some more. But I just wish they were all connected. That's all. That's all. But what do you guys think? Are you happy at the slate of movies we're getting? Are you not bothered that Ben Affleck has basically left? Are you not bothered at the fact that shared universes, in terms of the DCEU, are basically gone? Or are you really bummed about it, as I am? Let me know in the comments below, and of course subscribe to DC Comics Gamer for everything on the worlds of DC, as they're now known. Thanks for watching, folks. Multiverse, out.